In this video, we are going to set up Azure Cloud Shell and see how to use it. I'm on the Azure portal. We can go to the Cloud Shell icon, and this is what is going to ask us whether we want to go ahead bash and PowerShell. Let's go ahead and start with bash. Is basically asking us no storage account required or mount a storage account. I think let's go with this option because we need that. Let's go ahead and select the subscription, apply. We will create a storage account for you. Let's go ahead and create that. Next, and is basically creating the storage account needed for the Azure Cloud Shell. It's creating the Cloud Shell, connecting to the terminal. Welcome to the Cloud Shell, and that's the message we're getting there, right? And some kind of message also indicating, just to see some instruction, nothing fancy. And we are in the Cloud Shell, nothing, right? And it says just type AZ, so we'll see what we get when we type AZ. There you go, you get a big list, right? What are the different things that you can do with that particular AZ Azure CLI, right? Now what we're going to do, we're going to use some kind of internet reference here, to create, let's say, some network or some resource group. Okay, so let me see what we can take it for the easy thing. Maybe this one. Let's go ahead and create a storage account. We just copy as it is. See, based on this particular storage account, Azure CLI definition, what I did, I just created this small setup like a script, that we can use to create a storage account actually. Okay, so let me go back here and just copy the, detail the first one. Let's go ahead and create the resource group which is needed. Copy that here. Let's make sure that is creating the resource group. Resource group is created. That's the way you can see the output. And let's go ahead and copy one at a time. Storage account. Let's go ahead. That's the name will be given to the storage account. And then again, we will make sure that we are using specific Azure CLI command to create the storage account in that particular resource group, right? So we created my workload RG resource group, and we are referencing that my workload RG resource group to create the storage account, and we will see that in the portal once this is done. And you can see that storage account is created. What we can do, we can go to the resource group, and here let's make sure that we see that my workload RG, we can see that one, that's the new one got created. And now here you can see that learn bash storage account is created as well, right? That is how you create it. Now how do we do the same thing through PowerShell? So we go to the switch there to the PowerShell, and we also go ahead and create some kind of like a script so that we can create using PowerShell. What I did, I basically search on the Google for the Azure PowerShell documentation, and this is what I feel appropriate for us to do. So what we can do, let's go ahead and copy as it is. I think that should work as it is. So what I'm going to do, I say copy, paste new RG, thus creating a test RG in the ESTUS, right? Using a PowerShell commandlet is done. And let me select the virtual network commandlet, which is called new Azure virtual network with this particular CIDR. So let me go ahead and copy paste once again that particular CIDR. That's how you create a virtual network. And within the virtual network, Again, we have to add a subnet. So we copy as it is because that looks a complete example to me. So I'm just going to copy here again, that particular commandlet that is done. And, I think, yeah, we done. So now we can go back to the portal. And what we do again, go to the resource group, and let's see, we can minimize a bit here because we saw the example how to create using bash and PowerShell. And now we can just see those things in the portal directly. Let's go back to the resource group once again. Sometimes it require a kind of refresh as well. So let's go ahead and refresh that. Yeah, you can see that test RG is coming, and we should have a one virtual network vnet1. That is what we created. We can go to the virtual network, click on the virtual network, and let's see one subnet there, because that is what we added through the PowerShell rather than doing through the portal. So I think something is missing there. I think we haven't done one specific thing. That's why you don't see that I think subnet coming. So let's log in once again to the Cloud Shell, and we go back here, and this is what we're supposed to do, which we haven't done, right? So let's go ahead and make sure that we executing that particular thing. Once again, I think we have to redo this part. Network is there, subnet is not there. So let's make sure that, okay, so let's make sure those variables are missing. So the definition need to be there. So we going to do that once again. Yes, no worries, we all good with that one. That is done, and now we should go ahead and run one by one once again. All right, so that is looking good. And now this is the command we haven't run last time, because that is what should associate the subnet with the virtual network. All right, now let me minimize this. We go back to the virtual network once again. Let's make sure that this is the virtual network, and at least we should see that subnet now. There you go. You can see that subnet which we added there, right? That is how you interact using Azure CLI and Azure PowerShell through Cloud Shell. Actually, it's very easy. You don't need to do any kind of setup. You don't need to do any configuration. It just basically you go ahead, select the storage account, make sure that is authenticating, it's connecting, because sometimes some places you may not have the right permission to do the same thing. Actually, once it is done, the login is not needed in both the case, because it automatically inherits your portal login. So you don't need to log in at the command prompt. Once you get into the Cloud Shell, it's all taken care by the Azure itself, right? Whatever the identity is here at the top that you can see is what will be used automatically by the Azure to authenticate using Cloud Shell. That's pretty much as part of the demo.